So I'm going to work through 5.3a together here with you today. Your assignment then to complete before tomorrow will be 5.3b. I did go ahead already and I journalized the adjusting entries just because that isn't new, so it did save a little bit of time. I have not started to post those yet though. So the first thing that you guys will do in your books, it will tell you that there are some balances. You need to go ahead and update those before you start. So I started here already. From looking at my textbook, it tells me that cash has a balance of $7,532. So we're just going to go ahead and select our item, and we're going to select balance. Our post reference with a balance is going to just simply be a check mark. And then we're going to come over to our debit here, $7,532, and update our cash balance. Okay, office supplies, it looks like has a balance. Again, our post reference will be our little check mark here. And office supplies has a beginning balance of $315. And again, you'll find these numbers in your textbook. Office equipment starts with a balance of $2,398. Accumulated depreciation has a credit balance of $420. There is no beginning balance in wages payable. Our capital account is going to start with a credit of $18,614. Drawing starts with a debit of $18,000. The income summary has no balance to start. Premiums earned starts with a balance of $33,400. Whoops. And again, you guys, it's really important that you get these balances recorded before you start. Otherwise, your accounts will not close out properly. So I just paused it there while I finished updating balances. Just takes a little bit of time. Again, those balances are found in your textbook. You'll be doing 5.3b, and it is really important that you record those in there before you post. Otherwise, your accounts will not close properly. Okay, so I already have completed the adjusting entries since you guys know how to do that. So we're going to move forward here using our worksheet down to our closing entries. So we went through on the presentation, hopefully you guys watched that. We are going to close, excuse me, any of our temporary accounts. And we have to do it in the correct order. So the first thing that we're going to close is our revenue account, which if you look on our worksheet here, you can see our revenue account is premiums earned. So we need to make sure that we are using our balance from the end here and not the beginning. We need to make sure all the adjustments are accounted for. So premiums earned is a credit. So in order to close premiums earned, we are going to need to debit that account. So we're going to come here to our closing entries. We're going to say premiums earned. And since it was a credit before, we need to debit it to close it. So $33,400. Okay, and we're introducing a new account here that helps us close stuff, which is called income summary. So if we debited our premiums earned, we're going to go ahead and credit our income summary. Okay. When I post these, then I'll bring the post reference numbers back in here, which is just your account number. Okay, so the next piece of this, we close our revenue, then we close our expenses. So if we come up here and look, we can see we have wages, rent, telephone, advertising, miscellaneous, and do not forget to come down here and grab any of these expenses as well. So office supplies and depreciation. So if you notice on your worksheet, these are all debits. So in order to close these, we are going to have to credit them. So when we come down to our journal here, we're going to do our income summary first, but we do not know that amount yet. And then we're going to go ahead and list each one of our expenses. I'm going to pause it while I do that. So back to my screen here, you can see I have journalized my expenses. I have journalized them as credits. So now when I post them, they will zero out. Just again, I'm going to flip back up here to the top. Just a reminder, you need to make sure that your numbers that you're getting are the ones that are coming from the end here and not the beginning, because we need to take into consideration any adjustments that were made. Okay, so back down here to our income summary. So what we need to do is we need to total up all of our expenses. So our income summary will be $25,112. Okay, so there we've gone ahead and we've closed our expenses. The next thing we need to do is we need to decide, okay, did we have a net income or a net loss? So we come back up here to our worksheet. You can see we have a net income of $8,288. Okay, so that's going to increase our capital. So here is what this is going to look like. We're going to put our income summary first. And we had a net income of $8,288. So then the next account we're going to use is we're actually going to use our capital account, because what happens here is that when we post this entry, it is going to make our capital go up. Okay, so our net income results in an increase in capital. Now if we had a net loss, we would reverse those two numbers there. Your capital would go first and your income summary would go last. And then the last piece of your closing entries is to go ahead and close your drawing. So drawing impacts your capital negatively. So if we come back up here, and if you notice we had $18,000 in drawing. Okay, drawing was a debit, so in order to close it, we need to credit. So if we come back down here, I'm going to start this way because we know we need to credit our drawing, which means we need to debit our capital, which when we post these will make our capital go down. So at $18,000 in drawing. So I think for the sake of today being a short class, if you guys could work through that top part for me today on 5.3b. Tomorrow, crossing my fingers I'm back, we'll go ahead and we will work on journalizing those entries. If for some reason I'm not back yet tomorrow, we'll probably do it the same type of format, or possibly even try to Google Meet or Zoom Meet during class, because we need to make sure we can keep going. Please, please, please email me if you have any questions. Again, 5.3b. I will share the Excel sheet with you. Use this as a guide.